Hi, welcome back to The Tech Lead. I am the Tech Lead and partner at Westvolt, and today we're talking about why tech projects go wrong. So first things first, you can check out my brand new crib, my brand new office right back at WeWork. So love the whole place, love the environment. I'll spin it around with another feature of what my office looks like and the very cool people that are actually working here. But today I like to talk about why tech projects go wrong and what are the reasons why what seemingly looks easy has become very, very difficult, costs millions of dollars or thousands of dollars to fix, and why you see the disasters that you see in tech in Asia and some of these reports that have happened. So let's start out with one of the most easiest reasons why they go wrong, and that's that the reason for the project is unclear. Now, this is very, very often that it happens. Basically, someone comes up with an idea, comes up with a concept, but they didn't really check it through. And one of the real reasons is no clear need to solve something. So you see them every day littered on the App Store, littered on sites and all the startups, is that they don't have any clear need why they actually need this application. So second reason is it's not worth paying for. So this is so critical when people launch free applications, the SaaS model where you don't have to pay for anything and then after that they charge you for it. So users, B2C, they're usually happy to have something free. They use it for a while, they throw it away. But the minute you start charging people 1 cent or $1 or something like that, they're not going to pay. They're just like, and I just read, if you check out the Tech Leads channel in the US, the statistics is people download the average person of 0 apps a month. 0. So you're competing in that market. Things have changed. When we first came out, there were not enough of these killer apps, right? These monster apps. Today, the top 10 take up 94% of all the time in someone's phone. So that's big change now. You're going to compete with the YouTubes, the WhatsApps, and people don't have no more time. They're not going to download another application, and more still, they're not going to pay for it. So that's part of this first reason. And this leads into the third point, which is there's not a value proposition to the user. I mean, it may be novel, maybe, if you really try very hard, please download my app, yes. Or please use my application, please sign up, yes. But if it's not compelling enough, they're not going to do it. So you launch this project, you launch this idea, and nobody feels that they need to solve it, or maybe just a small group of people want to solve it. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of these things fail, probably one of the biggest reasons. The second big reason is hiring the wrong team, hiring cheap, hiring people that don't know what they're doing. Now, personally, I see this all the time when I'm running my consulting business, is that people look at a business, they look at the market for developers and say, hey, I don't want to spend $3,000 or $4,000 a month hiring someone here. I'm going to go overseas. I'm going to outsource it. I found a loophole. My friend told me there's a cheap guy out there. The problem with this is that the market has become very, very competitive. We're not living 20 years ago where there was no internet. Everybody knows what a developer is worth because of what they can create. And trust me, if guys like Google knew and had access to these cheap developers, they would use it. The reason why they don't do it is that it's not worth for them. It's not worth the value. They rather have the A1 level because of the applications they're building. So a lot of companies think they can get away with substandard developers. They can think they can get an intern for it. I have been doing this almost close to 8 years, and I can tell you the market is very efficient. They know what they're buying. They know where these talented people are. So what happens, right, with the cost is you get somebody who is inexperienced. They end up costing more technical debt than the value that they're creating. They cost your managers more time, more effort to manage them. You end up with a very expensive asset managing a very cheap asset. And that's not what you want to do. You want less management, having the asset actually making the value for it. So the last part that happens with this is the turnover, and this is the crazy part, right? The average tenure of a developer is about 2 years and 6 months at Google. It's much less for all the smaller companies. These guys, the minute they get clean, they're out the door. They're on to the next one. They're up to the market price. So you end up with people only interested in, clocking the hours so that they can move to the next project, and the quality is just going down. So what happens is that you have a downward spiral of quality, where you start off okay and then it drops. More newer people coming in, great people leave because they have to work with bad people, and then your project stalls, it fails, it crashes. That is what happens to a lot of companies out there. They may feel that, I just have such bad luck getting developers, but actually you just don't have the budget to hire what you want to achieve what you need to achieve. So second big reason why a lot of tech projects fail, I've seen it so often. We call it hollow out, where good devs leave and the team just keeps going down, 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 and they don't know what happened. Senior management is oblivious to what's happening. The final reason why they fail, and this is usually in the big companies, is what I call the 30,000 feet management. So your management, your guys are down here and your management's up here, and the management start coming up with concepts that are not doable on ground level. So these people have no connection to the ground level. They don't know what's happening, and they keep adding things into the application. So usually MNCs, this is usually the problem. So say the big boss says, hey, we need to make a decision to this area, or we need to make a decision to that area. Middle management say, yep, looks, based on their so-called feeling, they could do it. But then the guys at the bottom can't make that happen. Too many cooks, spoiling the soup, everyone adding that extra bit, changing everything up. What happens, right, is that the politics gets serious in these kind of applications. People get disheartened, they get disenchanted with the project. And in today's market, right, even the best companies, if someone's disenchanted, they just walk out and pop out there. So this is a big problem between senior management and the guys in the operational, in the technical, building that kind of system. You've seen this happening many, many times with a lot of the big companies, a lot of the big failures that you've heard. My best example is always Friendster, where the founder said, hey, we need to fix the algorithm, we need to increase the speed of the site, whereas the management was like, look, we need to monetize this thing, we need to get the cash in. So there was they were losing users left and right, and then Facebook came out and built that up. A lot of other things happen, especially when there's a lot of politics on top of the boards, where there are directional shifts and people don't want to follow that, or it's in the wrong direction. That causes these projects to stall and crash. So watch out for the 30,000 feet management projects that you're seeing. Now, how this applies to what we're doing here on my channel is that you may be a tech lead, or you may be running a team, or have a client that shows these three symptoms of what is happening, and you need to quickly recognize them in order to solve the problem. Which problem has triggered it? It's usually very seldom is it the technology that you choose, I've heard so many stories about saying, we went down the wrong technology stack, that's why it failed. That's normally not the case. You can even get by. Look, I've seen Java people with the right team achieve these kind of things. Sometimes they may have gone down one area, say PayPal, where they were, I think they were using C# or something, where they were really slow, and they went a Node. Those things are quite marginal. The big problems are actually management, structural, team-based issues. So switching these things right can be enormously bad for your project. It can cause losses, and that's where if you're watching my channel, you want to be very aware of what has happened to the project and why it's failed. Usually never the tech stuff. So thanks very much. So I'm the tech lead, And that's the bottom line because the tech lead said so. All right, see you guys.